Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Curro Gauteng LAN 2026. Guys, we just got done with game number 1 in our best of 3 here today. And what a matchup it actually was. Krugersdorp up against Curro Aurora. And I mean, it was so close. Well, not all the time. Let's just talk about the dominance that Krugersdorp showed off in the first half. And then for some reason, somehow, some way, a fall off had been approaching and Aurora pushed us into overtime. But the story is written as follows. Krugersdorp wins match number 1, 15-13 here at the Curro LAN. And I mean, with that being game number 1 over on Bind, that's insane. Of course, Bind was Krugersdorp's pick, but now we head over to Split. And this is going to be Pride's pick on attack as well. Please don't get confused with how these maps are laid out. The deciding map is in the center, so Pearl will be our third map if we are pushed to it. Pride, Curro Aurora, they now start off on the attacking side on Split. This is their pick. And we'll see if they have anything to write home about this one. It seemed a bit slow off over on Bind for Curro Aurora. You know, they were fumbling a little bit on the attack rounds. They were splitting up too much. It didn't seem like they were confident pushing through areas like Hooker and Showers to get onto site. And in fact, there were a couple of rounds as well where they just let the time completely run out and they couldn't push through anything. Krugersdorp, they managed to do a phenomenal job of holding out their opposition for the most part. Even into that OT portion, we did get to see Krugersdorp burn through the timer, through their positioning and the angles that they had, and slow down Aurora, resulting in that 15-13 scoreline as well. Krugersdorp right now, still undefeated. Let's just keep that right now. Undefeated currently. So we'll see how that goes through for Split. We are witnessing a tech pause happening on stage right now, so you're going to hear me yap for just a little bit longer. But Split is the pick now for Pride. Honestly, I do believe that the comps are going to remain very, very similar. KO is such a phenomenal agent for most maps that you get to play on. A Split being one of them as well. What I didn't really enjoy was the Clove pick. I know that you're getting your smokes back over time, but the Clove smoke just lasts so short. I mean, you can't really get much pushes off of it. Whereas on the counter side, we did have Omen on Aurora, and it enabled them to get a couple more eliminations and a couple more angles on their defense now. So we'll see what the picks are going to be. Brim is also a very good pick over here as well. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, we will not be seeing the new agent mix within this due to regulation of keeping a 2-week gap between when the agent is released and any tournaments that come through. So unfortunately, no mixed gameplay happening over here. But an agent that we could see take place over on Split over here is Waylay. Waylay with the dashes coming through can take up a lot of space and is often played over on Split. Viper is also always a phenomenal pick as well, especially if you know the lineups to go ahead and stall out. Brim also with those lineups can stall out phenomenally. What I think we're going to be seeing more often than not is Sage. Those walls coming through will go ahead and prove prevalent, especially down the mid angle as well. I mean, Split is a positioning map. You got to find which way you're going through and kind of have that flank always and that flank mind at all times, whether it be to block it off or to use that flank. So we'll go ahead and see how that happens. I don't think we'll be seeing many Sovas, especially on Split. I don't think we'll be seeing many breaches here on Split. Teho could be a good pick as well, especially with those missiles and the Armageddon coming through on that ultimate. But I think it's going to stand fairly basic. We're going to see our razors come through. We may even see Spicy Jet come in as well as our DPS. KO is always going to be a pick, especially for that 0-point knife to go ahead and suppress the ultimate as well. The null protocol to go ahead and suppress opponents as well and get a push through is phenomenal. We may even see Deadlock for a wall if these players do not want to go ahead and touch the heals over on Sage. So the block off mid is going to be sort of the name of the game. Mid control is everything over on Split to keep not only the height but the rotation to opposite site as well. So we'll go ahead and check that out. But of course, Curro Gauteng LAN is in partnership with ASA for Education and ACGL, making this possible, showing the future of esports in front of our very eyes. And if that first game was anything to write about the talents of these players, you know exactly what we're going to witness. But we wait to get into that comp picks now, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are in the chat, I want to see who you're rooting for. And so far, who has been your favorite player? I've seen Rue go ahead and hit a couple of phenomenal shots. I've seen Baguette go ahead and hit those clutch ups as well. So those two I've always got my eyes on. Divergent as well hit some amazing shots. ISO lock in again on Nugget over there. And second Nugget locking in once more on the Sky. There's those Sage picks that we talked about. Ooh, I completely forgot about Vito. I'm not going to lie. Right now, hovered on both sides as well. Astra on Ascending. That is a phenomenal pick right there, especially if you know how to play around Astra as well. Sage kind of being hovered right now on both. And can we just take a moment to talk about how Riot did a phenomenal job on the look of Sage post lore drop? That is insane, with the jade glowing through on her face and on her arms. Doing a phenomenal job with their characters. But the full lock over on the Krugersdorp side, Dove, ISO, Sage, Sky, and Vito is the lock in. Meanwhile, over on Aurora, currently deciding exactly what they want to do. Cypher, a phenomenal pick over here as well, if you can go ahead and play it out. But opting to hover the Chamber instead. We are going to see Breach, Omen, Chamber, Phoenix, and Clove. Breach is often a pick that you don't see on Split. So we may go ahead and witness Krugersdorp not being able to counter it at all. We'll see exactly how that plays out. But very good comps for both teams as we get our flyover of the map, ladies and gentlemen. Question now is, for both of these teams, and I'm not going to pander to one of them, both of these teams had their ups and downs in that previous game. Aurora started off on a down. Krugersdorp found their footing early on and then sort of lost it in the second half. The question is now, which team is going to be able to go ahead and find their footing first effectively? And yes, we are aware that there is a little bug over on the spec tool. No, if there's one thing that happens at a LAN, it's issues, ladies and gentlemen. I've worked multiple LANs so far, and it's not a LAN if there's no issues. So we're just gonna have to deal with the issues right now. We're only gonna be able to see the buys on one side of the teams currently, and you know, maybe it's just a little bit of surprise for our defending side. See what they may have, but there's that wall that went down mid immediately. Aren't coming through so quickly though.
Spike planted.
In the chamber, TP out as well. Beautifully done as that spike now planted.
One enemy remaining.
Unity barely peeking at the right time. Getting that limb. And now Nuggets on the ISO. All that's left. Switches out to a ghost. Now goes through screen side. On site currently. Finds one. Actually finds three over there. En route for an ace currently. Gun out. Baguette. Lit up just a little bit. Clove smokes do go down post death over here. Tap on the spike. Hops it, but Immunity finding their 3k of their own. I mean, had to stick it over there, especially with it being that close to going off. Dugersdorf immediately going ahead and getting that that first round on board. There's a tempo that they need to keep over there. We saw the Unity happen off of those swings at the end of that round. Unity is always there to go ahead and prevail. Numbers advantage is always a thing, no matter what game it is. Valorant, it's the same story as the wall once again down mid. Take a look at that minimap. Sky looks to be rotating through currently. TP fake perhaps over here to go ahead and draw everyone towards male. And it seems to be working as Divergent very close, going to be the first one spotted. The double swing comes through, ascending a little bit of a trade, but not working out too well. Positioning just out of the water there.
No peeking.
Now we find ourselves in that 4v2 situation. Drew Spectre in hand, now going through.
One enemy remaining.
The smoke here on connector. Gray taken out. Which means that all we have left is an Omen here for the attacking side, as Drew holding corner here right now. Spike
30 seconds
is
left.
mid. Baguette with an outlaw in hand. It's all you're going to be able to use for this, and it's not looking too good right now for round number 2.
Cover going out.
Looks like our defenders are going to easily go ahead and win this round. All of them hovering like a pack of hyenas on that spike. I mean, with Rue this close as well, it's going to be a jump scare, but not for Baguette. It's a jump scare for Rue. Over that outlaw shot, and we'll be taking that outlaw into round number 3.
Strike at their weak points. If one link breaks, the rest will follow.
1-1 is where we are currently. Round number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Well, round number 3, I should say. Our buy round is going to be coming in here. We are going to see those saves on weapons, like that outlaw that we just talked about.
Shadows traveling.
I mean, the outlaw is such a phenomenal weapon in its own right. Outlaw shot comes through. Both miss, unfortunately. Remainings, though, finds out Divergent. Very pushing deep in towards screen currently. A spray through this little angle. Gives away position, but keeps back the opposition just a little bit through. Gets the elimination on immediately. Out double. Outlaw in hand now as well. Nuggets on the sky. Chell's ascending there, but the Bandit doing work to get that elimination. Baguette just a little bit better with that outlaw.
Focusing.
Proves it there.
Neutralized. Ult is ready.
Nice shots from Nuggets over there on the ISO, which is to the Spectre now. Up close, runs it down. I don't believe there's enough time for this, and there is not enough time for this. Rue saving a Vandal, though, here is massive for the squad, ladies and gentlemen. 2-1 is our current scoreline. And again, a feeling out process right now, a very slow process for these teams to go ahead and get their footing. We saw it happen in the first map as well, in the first game, I should say. Happening here again, history has that tendency to repeat itself. Just like with Nuggets over here on the ISO. Kill contract in hand, looking to go ahead, pop that ult, maybe find an early elimination and set the tempo for the team.
No distractions.
Just misses that kill contract, unfortunately, burns through those orbs, and now I'll have to recharge that, unfortunately. Beautiful dodge over there as well to dodge that ISO ult. Again, Outlaw, he swings it after the smoke diversion with the Bulldog, though. He's going to go ahead and find that elimination. Divergent now popping the orb, and unfortunately gets taken down, but not leaving an extra orb over there. Forward order. Flash goes through. Because Dort right now playing it so slow on the defense. Aurora playing it so split on the attack. Now just holding angles, holding corners. This is all you can do at this point in time. 4v3 situation. Attackers have the advantage.
30 seconds left.
Nuggets over there heard the steps behind. Wanted to go ahead and looking at that right time. Immunity swung as well. And you saw the confusion come through. Looking around.
Spike planted.
It does go down.
Last
Blue
player
finds the elimination
standing.
on Grey over there. The remainings takes down Nuggets. Drew finds second. Looking for the
One
third now.
enemy remaining.
Pops the heel, finds the third off of the corner, the little shoulder
enemy
peek.
remaining.
Finds the fourth up in heaven. Not dead yet. Has been popped. And it's just having to play out time right now. Doesn't play out the time. Ego chows it in Ascending. Ascending gets another round for the attacking side. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a scoreboard. I mean, Pride over there. All they can do is thank Ascending for what happened at the end of that round. That is insane to Ego Chell. A Clove that has, what? Less than 3 seconds left on the ult? On the revive? That's insanity. But nonetheless, that's a third round now. Forward order. Medal now thrown up ramp. And they did actually nerf the medal as well over on Clove. And now smaller radius on that projectile. Jay on top of box, waiting for the smoke to dissipate. Find a shot, but there's another smoke. Alas, it's Smokeception in front of your very eyes. And Manny takes down Rue. Rue pops, not dead yet though. As Grey takes down Divergent. Spray through the box right now is the name of the game. Out double. Close and personal. Spectre in hand as the close smoke goes down. Rue gets spammed down through the smoke off of that ult as well. And now the rotate comes through perhaps as Baguette. This elimination with that judge. No rotate over here. Just a Phoenix wall and everyone rushing through as well like it's a Black Friday. And the specials are hotter than ever. Baguette finds out double on that zip for fourth round for Aurora. And Crew now need to find themselves. Krugersdorf need to find their footing within this. I mean, they've gotten decent kills so far. You look at Rue and Nuggets, 7 each. And I mean, an even split though on kills for the Pride. But have a look at the buys currently. Divergent, for example. Only 500 creds left. Not finding too much use off of those
You want to
utils
play? Let's
on
play.
defense. I'm gonna hear the chamber ult go through a chain immediately as well.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Phoenix ult comes through for the push in onto site as well. Good clearings come out. Baguette with the TP. Shadow step swings out for a reach out, but crosshair placement not going to be there. Overheal now on Drew.
Here.
Caught up in the smoke though as Jay comes back. Denial now off of Vito. Evolution is active, so just needs a couple eliminations over here every single time to get that HP back.
Spike planted.
Plant is going to go ahead, stick through. Such a powerful ultimate as well in the hands of Vito to constantly have that ult up, just like the Empress is over on Reyna, but this time making you immune to anything. Can honestly just walk through that flames if need be, but chooses to TP instead. Unfortunately, whiffs the shot. Nuggets up in heaven, gets one, drops down now. Not too much time left on this explosion for the spike. Swings in, blind is there, but ascending. Cloud shot gonna go ahead and find one. Even in that situation, there's still a chamber ult that you had to deal with at the end of it.
This one time where
5-1. Current standings and the econ not looking good so far for Krugersdorp. As now we've gone down to a couple sheriffs and half shields, and probably the worst situation over here is that Vandal with no shields over on Drew. Yes, you're gonna burn off of that overheal, but it's not gonna do too much over there, unfortunately. As now the push comes in from Aurora. Operator is online for immunity. Breach ult coming through as well. Aftershocks coming in through to heaven as Grey gets the first elimination. Operator still online here. Smoke dissipates. There's the headshot to go ahead. Get the alarm with the op. There's the second. LAX immunity is looking for takeoff as a flawless round for Aurora. Takes us to 6-1 post round number 7. We are going to have the revive over on Artapel. We're going to have the Seekers over on Nugget Sky. But I mean, you look at Pride, and they have a scary setup right now. They've got all the money they need in the bank. 33k, I should say. They've got an Operator online. They've got Vandals and a Phantom. Hell, they have the Omen ult if need be. They're close to having Clove and Phoenix ult at the same time over here. But what they actually have is the real estate on site right now, as Ascending finds 2. Immunity reminds them that he has the op. Reminds them again that the Operator's online. All that's left is Nuggets with a Sheriff, Notch clearing left on the wall. And a 7th round for Aurora. And this is what they wanted. They wanted to walk away with Split over here. They picked Split specifically. When I tell you that it took maybe 10 minutes for the vetoes to be finalized. There was a lot of dedication to planning out maps.
That works.
It is insanity. Flash is now gone from Phoenix. Smoke as well from Clove. The running through is disrespectful over on Grey. Finds 2. On-site immunity. Almost hits the quick scope over there. A little bit of revenge for Divergent. Divergent now with the op in hand. Operator online for Vito. Blind comes in from Breach.
Last player
Nothing to
standing.
write home about though. Artapel takes down the remainings. The revive is on board. Rue back in the fight right now with that Vandal. Quick clearing out from Divergent right now. On site though is Ascending behind the screen. Gets caught out by Artapel. Not dead yet. Is there but will not pop it. Rather going to save that for the next round as the defuse finally comes through. And Krugersdorf finally get a 2nd point on board. 7-2 is where we stand. And right now, surprisingly, Immunity going Bucky in hand. Has 7k in the bank.
You want
Choosing
to
to go to
play?
Bucky.
Let's
Has
play.
the ult as well. Here to get popped immediately. Shadow Steps comes through, but a blind means that Mail doesn't see that happen. Kill contract in order right now. Nuggets, beautiful little flick. Gets the reset over on the double tap now.
My turn.
Lines left, right, and center.
Last player standing.
Devin gets taken down. Last player standing, though, is Nuggets on the ISO. 1v4 situation.
Show me a target.
I mean, double tap active halfway through its lifespan right now. They think the rotates... Oh, sorry, I should say they are rotating through Nuggets. Not aware of the rotate as of yet. Now knows that has happened. Takes the zip up currently towards mid. I mean, this should just be a free round for Aurora here.
Spike planted.
An undercut in the wall in hand for Nuggets. And no one watching the zip line. Means that could easily go ahead and get us, but no, has to save. That Vandal is too important right now, especially with the scoreline that we have, especially with the econ that has been had so far within this split game. Just going to tuck in Mail, keep that gun. That is the smart thing to do over here, and Aurora will go ahead and get an 8th round on board. But, I mean, did some damage over there with it. Got the kill contract off ascending. Did use that not dead yet. Managed to get an elimination. And the comeback. Mail going to be cleared. Spray down. Means that you now have a choice between a Vandal or a Phantom. I'm going to stick with the Vandal. However, too scared to move to go grab it, especially with the player that close. But that is round number 10, ladies and gentlemen. 82 is where we stand on our scoreboard. Let's have a look at some of the abilities that we have on board. The Seeker still in hand of Nugget Sky right there. And Rue now on board with that not dead yet. Vandals and Phantoms over for Crew right now, forcing this by in round number 11. Operator back online for Immunity over on Aurora. Phantoms and Vandals as well. We can see the snare come through from Vito. Snare does get tripped. Interceptor does unfortunately get destroyed over there. Shadow Step through the smoke. And Divergent spots out the gun. Luckily hitting a wallbang to go ahead and take down Baguette. Too slow on the draw. There is Immunity with that off.
One enemy remaining.
The taps of the spikes comes through.
Spike
Left, right,
down
center
A.
is where we're going. Drew pops that ult and gets caught with a off your feet. But the only thing that's off right
Round
now
in the half.
is the aim that we're witnessing. Shaky shots coming through from Aurora. We saw Chamber Immunity slow on the draw, but that operator gets taken out immediately. We saw the spam through come over on ascending and remainings, and ascending fell to it. Then the not dead yet popped from a root to go ahead and clutch that up, and unfortunately remaining's gonna lose that breach out. So we are gonna hear Evolution come through. And Evolution is in fact a mystery, a change that no one sees. Except for the fact that Vito can now walk in through everything that gets thrown at him. Whether it be the blinds, whether it be the mollies, whether it be the medals and the stuns, it does not matter. There's a walking tank on the side of the field, but they're still somehow falling down in numbers at 5v2 situation as Aurora. Heavy advantage right now. Smokes off CT. Wait, 7 stairs now. Is Baguette.
One enemy
Pushing
remaining.
down. Beautiful shot over there. Flip-worthy moment over that crosshair placement. And now it's down to the evolved Divergent over here. Blind's coming through. Blind is going to hit Baguette over there, but Gray managing to get that headshot. You may be a walking tank to abilities, but hey,
Switching
bullets
sides.
still hurt, especially when it's a trick shot. And I'm not going to say it, but broadcast did. Look at the score, ladies and gentlemen. For once, I will not be the reason the cast curse happens. But I mean, that score line right now on the Switch. No, I'm not one to believe in these little omens that happen, these curses that get placed. So I'm not gonna say nothing. Okay, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm not saying nothing. But 9-3 is where it is, and I said something immediately after I said I'm not saying something. Let's look at that leaderboards though. 12-9 over on Nuggets, ISO 13-8 on Gray. These are our top fraggers. But I mean, Aurora, they're pretty much all top fraggers at this point. All of them. So many kills as we auto farm with the Kitsune Ghost. Playing our entry music as we go through. Sage Wall now comes through. ISO Wall as well. Ascending, backs up off of that chamber TPs. Phoenix has been stunned over on site as the double tap gets popped. Spike is planted as swings come through from CT. The spam from Divergent goes ahead and gets another low. Bullets flying everywhere on the site. It's not safe for anyone. Someone call the US Marines to sort this out because it's down to a 3v1 immunity. The last alive over here. This is the sheriff to try to go ahead and get some shots off. Still healthy, but only 3 minutes left. Now left down with a classic. Has some ghosts around to go ahead and make plays off of waste. The 2 bullets and Nuggets with the right click gets the final elimination. As Crew now
Forgive me about
win that pistol round off the half. And that's exactly what they need to do. They need to go ahead and keep the pressure. They need to keep those crosshair placements perfected. They need to keep the rotations absolutely perfect as they rendezvous with each other. Because they cannot afford to waste more rounds. We saw this in a little bit of a reverse in our first game over there. Aurora coming back in the second half. Aurora knows how that happened in our game number 1. Blue now looking to go ahead and do it in game number 2 as the 80s is on board. The TP out from chamber. And B hopping to safety. We know it is close to Easter, so the B hops are relevant as a trailblazer. Destroyed immediately. A little bit of info on that zip line. Blind comes through from Baguette, but nothing to write home about as there is that Sage Wall over there as well. And climb over boxes is immunity with a long spray from that 80s. Takes down Rue down main. Second 80s. He's going to go ahead and even it up though. I want to take a look at our 2 80s users, Immunity and Divergent. These 2 players have the highest orb count so far for both of their teams, respectively. Waterfall gets the plant off right now. The maining's taken down. Divergent gets elimination with the 8 as well. Bandit in hand though. Beautiful headshots with the Bandit, and this is where the Bandit shines. Of course, the budget sheriff that we have, but oh no.
One enemy remaining.
Oh no, Baguette. Like a shadow in the night over on Omen.
Last player standing.
Finds one on double! With a cleanup and 17 HP. This is why Sage is in your law books, ladies and gentlemen. A cleanup with the Spectre against not only the Bucky, but the 80s as well is phenomenal. Outdouble, you clip that and you post that. Hashtag this happened at LAN. Hashtag Curro Gauteng 2026. 9-5, where we are. And hey, I'm not the one who cursed nothing. I'm gonna say that right now. If anything, you tell bro something, okay? It wasn't me. Shaggy said it best, it wasn't me. Ascending, finds 2 with the stinger. Vandal's now getting picked up by Divergent. Solution is pop, finds another over here.
Last player standing.
Looking for a third, cannot find the third. Nuggets now last alive on the sky, a 1v2 situation. Going up against an Outlaw and a Marshal.
Spike planted.
And theoretically this could be winnable. I'm not even gonna talk about. I'm not gonna say the slow. Yes, Baguette. Yes, the slow turn. Yes, Baguette. Baguette, you read all of our minds. The slow turn and the smoke to hide immunity over there. Look, we listen and we don't judge, but I'm giving free reign to chat right now to judge. Okay, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. Judge. Okay, judge. Anyway, in other news, the Marshal should be switched out for one of these guns that are being juggled by Baguette. And it won't actually get switched out. Immunity said, give me another shot. I can make you proud, please. Let me get another shot at it. Trust me, I'll cook this time. Still keeping that Marshal in hand. 5-10 is where we are. Aurora with the 5-point lead. Live here on Split with the Curro Gauteng LAN 2026. Brought to you by ASA for Education. And of course, the GOATs to do it all, ACGL. As I think Broadcast just wants to see what Immunity is going to do over here. We're sticking with Immunity on the Marshal, and no one's going to be peeking, though, through main on A. In fact, it's what we talked about for about 5 minutes before this game even started. That mid push. Double tap is active, but a Stinger not going to get the job done over there, unfortunately. And creating a pocket is great with that wall. Bucky 1-2. If this was Marvel Rivals, that Bucky would be yelling again. But Nuggets gonna go ahead and put a stop to that. And now the heal as well to go ahead and tip top up. 2v2 situation. Ascending and Immunity up against a two-piece chicken nugget team over there.
Spike planted.
Spectre and Classic in hand of the two-piece chicken nuggets. Sheriff on ascending, and by God, do I even say what's in Immunity's hand right now? Trailblazer goes out, spots nothing though. I mean, look how low ascending is as well. 18 HP, unfortunately. Sheriff
Last player
up
standing.
close, gets caught out. Go ahead and miss those shots, unfortunately. And good news, though, for Aurora is that the Marshal's out of the hands. The Marshal is out of the hands right now, so we're fine. And at the end of it all, it's a two-piece chicken nuggets taking us up to a 6-piece scoreline for crew. 6-10 is where we currently stand on round 17. And all this talk about two-piece chicken nuggets are making me hungry, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you are having your snacks over here while watching game number 2 of the Curro Gauteng LAN 2026 Valorant. Ooh, a Marshal. Let's see if Divergent can make anything of this. It's a warning shot. It's to let them know I'm using a Marshal now as well. Let's see what happens. Util in handle. Such a risky play. Shadow Step comes through. Put out, and that's how you do it. That's how you use that on Hipfire. As Baguette taken down, and that's one of the smokes down on the team right now for Aurora. And Crew might just go ahead and rotate over this. And yeah, it looks like they're going to do that, but alternatively, we've seen them do this already, where they try to take Mail over here down mid. Snare. Thrown out. Was a TP and gonna TP into Vents right now. Down the zipline is Divergent. Meanwhile, rest of squad pushing down the main. Ball is up. Double tap active now as well. Divergent has somehow made his way up through the zipline, and maybe the Marshal is a curse right now for both sides of these teams. 30 seconds is all that's left though. Phoenix outcoming through the molly as well. Down onto side. Beautiful flick from Gray. Gets 2 over on side. And now TP's back up to heaven. Immunity knows where the last is over here on a Rue. TP's out into safety. And either way over here, Rue gets the ult in hand. Headshot to go ahead and clean up, but 6-11 is where we are as Aurora gets themselves another round, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the buys that are coming through, and ladies and gentlemen, it may not be a Marshall, but the operator is online for immunity. 2 away from the ult as well. Looking to go ahead and clean up and maybe double up within the next round over here. Meanwhile, on the crew side of things, we're resulting to a bandit over on Ru. And while the bandit is a phenomenal weapon, it has its fall of damage. It has its drawback. And that's why Ru gets a quick elimination and gets a different weapon on board. Unfortunately, it is a Spectre. So we'll have to play extremely close range before this wall goes down. A little bit of a gap in the wall, unfortunately, as blinds come through. Grey finds one, Ascending finds another, and trades left, right, and center. 3v2 situation. Artapel, though, says you will not get rid of my team that easily. As the ult comes through, Ru pops the ult as well, gets killed, come back into this fight.
Spike planted.
And oh boy, it's not a Marshall. Now listen, it's not a Marshall, but it's way harder to hit a hip fire shot with this operator as well, especially when Divergent is that close. And not going to pick up the up for the team as well. Just wants that out of there. Knows that it might just be bad luck to have a sniper on split right now. And opts to keep the rifles, full rifles in fact, for crew. As they've gotten my favorite number, 7-11 on the board right now. Could use a slushy for how hot this action is here at Curro. Baguette opting to go ahead and save up 2,600 to the name. Has to use that classic after buying some abilities over here. And I mean, double ult on side for the side. They've got the Omen ult. They've got the Clove ult as well. Not dead yet, proving prevalent as well. Evolution comes through from Divergent almost instantly. Looking to go ahead and create an entry point as well. But remember, you may be immune to abilities. You are not immune to bullets. Interesting use of the kill contract over there in a straight line. Doesn't find anyone at all, and now just burned through a beautiful shot over from Divergent, followed by a little bit of a whiff as well over on immunity. Ascending, not dead yet. Pops it, goes CT. Now through the firewall as well. Gets the elimination, gets the kill, comes back to life, and Aurora at their match point situation.
Match point.
7-12, where we stand. And look what they have for the potential final round, ladies and gentlemen. They've got themselves an Omen ult to work with. They've got themselves Immunity's sniper to work with. Hell, if they play their cards right over here, they'll have a Breach ult to work with as well. So much high-level util on board. And meanwhile on crew, all ults burnt through already. Resulting to the final round having a Spectre and a Sheriff.
Down mid.
Divergent immediately taken out. Nuggets finds one with the Vandal. This plays coming through. Artapel found out over there. Baguette getting a double.
One enemy remaining.
Nuggets lost alive, gets found out, gets caught out, gets headshot. And Aurora win map number 2. This is an interesting turn of events, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll talk about it in a second. Let's have a look at this leaderboard over here. 24-14 on Grey. Grey was doing work. 4 first bloods there as well. The remainings with 19-15. Ru was on point as well with double 19s over there and even 1 KD. This is the interesting part now, ladies and gentlemen. We can't do a third round of Valorant here. This is the interesting part of it. We cannot do a third round of Valorant now that Aurora have won this. So I hate to say it, but you know what our final round's gonna be? It's gonna be a friendly game of rock, paper, scissors, ladies and gentlemen. That's wild how these teams pushed each other to the limit both times. Game number 1, 15-13 in favor of Crew. Game number 2, 13-7 in favor of Aurora. And now it comes down to both of these teams being so dominant that we're gonna rock, paper, scissors to find out a winner. I'm just gonna get confirmation with broadcast. Are we gonna get the results of this rock paper scissors? We have no idea. But you know what we have an idea of? This is the Curro Gaming LAN, and it doesn't just end here, because we have tomorrow as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we kick off with Overwatch tomorrow, then Brawlhalla, and then of course the beautiful game of Rocket League. I'm getting word from my news anchor down on broadcast, and it looks like Krugersdorp won the rock paper scissors, so their OT was not for nothing. Krugersdorp walk away the winners of the Valorant Curro Gauteng LAN 2026 winners. Like that's insane that they pushed each other to the limit over there, and then it came down to a friendly game of rock paper scissors. But I mean, if you look at the time, it's been a hell of a day of Valorant. It was 2-1 apparently to Krugersdorp on the rock paper scissors, so that's absolutely insane. But guys, that's just Curro day number 1. We still have tomorrow, like I said, a little bit of a secret. We're kicking off with Overwatch, then moving to Brawlhalla, then a Rocket League after that as well. Curro has not stopped on the action, and tomorrow it will continue, but that means that we're out of time for today. Again, thanks to ASA for Education and ACGL for participating and being partners in this Curro Gauteng LAN 2026. And the action is not over yet, because we will see you tomorrow bright and early over on this channel with more Curro action. But for now, take care, and we'll see you all tomorrow.